and roll on cobblestone for them. He's their B platform player, right? Which is such a key position to play on defaults as well as execute. So he definitely needs to kind of rise to the occasion here if they're going to have a good T side, I feel like. As we are going to see the opening pistol come into play in Fnatic. Just kind of spreading out. Look at this Magic Explorer already finding Vinton right off the bat.
Yeah, great stuff for Dignitas. Olof going by Elecro over on the B side of the map, but trying Glocks against USP, medium to long range, normally isn't going to work out too well for you. Twist buddying his way around the side and keep him alive a little while longer. Rubino will feel the force of the Glock, but still the Dignitas lineup will be a player ahead. I say that, but Twist picks up a second Glock headshot in quick succession, bringing this back to equality. Dignitas will have a fairly solid idea of where the aggression will be coming in, though, and they've quickly moved in position. Can they land the shots? Yes, they can. Config with 2, looking for a third. And he has Cavalry coming up just behind him on Rock, and it's going to be Magisboy who gets the final tap. Dignitas will take the pistol, but Twist, a couple tasty headshots with the Glock.
That was definitely a round that kind of gave you a roller coaster ride, wasn't it? I mean, it opened up well for Dignitas, and then Twist hits these 2 nutty Glock frags, and you think, okay, maybe Fnatic are actually pulling this one back in, but then they get shut down once they actually start spreading out into the B side, particularly some key kills there from Config and Magicboy at the end to kind of shut things down. So, big round to win for Dignitas. Again, this map can sway towards the T side quite a bit in most games, so if you can get the 3-0 start from CT side, you're really doing yourself a lot of favors economically and giving yourself an early lead from the more difficult side. So definitely they're going to be happy about that, as no bomb plant from Fnatic, so you will see the upgraded pistols and armor in play. Looks like they are putting a little bit more emphasis on the A side of the map this time, to clearing out A-halls and to just kind of holding pattern at middle now. Slowly working their way in.
I see that MSL could be the man here, honestly, because he's holding the close angle on mid. It's unlikely with this limited utility that Fnatic would go around the corner checking that. This boy gets found out by the hands of Dennis, but manages to scamper away with 70 health. And this is what I was talking about. The pop flash is absolutely perfect. MSL with 2 frags with the UMP. Rubino's going to chime in with his UMP, so the SMG's doing all the work in this round. Twist is going to make the Deagle sing for him. Rubino gets tagged on the jump out from balcony, nearly loses his life, and will get finished off by Dennis. But Twist, the partner in crime of Dennis, is down, and MSL lurking gets his 3rd frag. Dignitas do repel the 2nd round. Now Fnatic will be into an eco.
I was actually kind of worried about MSL's position there for a second, because I felt like he was a bit isolated, but that pop flash kind of changed everything, right? It allowed him to press in the mid room, catch a couple of people really blind. 2 pretty easy frags for him, and that's kind of what sets the tone for the round. So Dignitas 2 up now. Fnatic going to be on just Glocks this round, saving all the money that they can. So I would expect them to just like rush drop or something like that. And get this round over with, but we'll see. Last time around they actually kind of took it slow over on Overpass when they had just Glocks, but seems like this time, yeah, they are just gonna kind of crash in here.
Yeah, I definitely think the Overpass lends itself to more of a slow, methodical play if you so choose, whereas Cobblestone is all about drop, but it's going to be Rubino and Config just smashing through the Swedes, not losing a single player. Didn't really expect much out of that round, and to be fair to Dignitas, they probably half called that. You know, they're going to be on Glocks, P250s maybe, just watch for drop. That's the obvious play.
Indeed it is. It's kind of crazy to think that they actually went for 2 FAMAS in 2nd rounds. It actually stops them from getting M4s here. I would have thought they'd just like keep SMGs in play, since you know that Fnatic didn't get a 1st round bomb plant, so they can't really buy early. So that's kind of something I didn't really expect to see, so I don't know if that's going to kind of hamstring them a bit in this round, now if they're stuck still on 2 FAMAS in play. Rubino will have the but he's playing close range in drop down room, so maybe he can still put it to use, as we are going to see Fnatic opening up actually a little bit A heavy this time around. I'm used to seeing them run like a lot of 1-4B stuff, so they're putting a little bit more presence toward A than I see them do a lot, so a little bit of a change here from Fnatic, as we do see them getting control of A-halls. And they're actually swinging that bomb over towards middle as well, so maybe that is the intention, in fact, to hit this A-bomb site.
MSL's getting flashed left, right, and centre, and it's going to cost him his life. And we saw him isolated up against pistols. That's all well and good, but against rifles, for me, that's a bit too out in the open. Ultimate is going to chime in for the 2nd frag of the round, and that leaves Dignitas very much split off. You can see by their formation, split across the map. Magisboy felt compelled to go super aggressive and see if he gets some work done, but in doing so, he will lose his life. Rubino, Cajun B, your last 2 remaining CTs, and Rubino behind the box on the other side of the map to Cajun B. Olof has spotted Rubino, and it's that UMP that's still in play. Cajun B has landed the AWP shot. Rubino's going to get nothing out of this round, and now all falls to the man who came over from Astralis. Can Cajun B be the clutch king for Dignitas? He wanted to get planted in the smoke, and yeah, I think he's by and large realised his days are numbered. So yeah, just save the AWP. Don't throw away that 7.2k worth of equipment while you take it through into the next round.
That's the big difference between Overpass and Cobblestone now. So to get 2 opening picks. I mean, right, they catch MSL in danger. Olaf gets a pick off a B platform on the config. And so at that point, Fnatic has all their options open to that point. Yes, they had a really heavy lean towards A in their opening formation, but when you get picks on each side of the map, you can really transition either way you want. And they decided to go into B. Olaf continues to get entries for them into the site, and you see them now get their first round, and Cajun B not even able to say that. Venton catching them on the blind side, and going to force Dignitas to spend some money this round to be able to still get an op in play. And they will be able to buy that and pass it over to Cajun B. So they'll still have a really good buy here. It is true that they did kind of hold on to SMGs and FAMAS in the previous, so was able to kind of pull money together to be able to do this now.
Yeah, for those of you asking in chat and wondering, Dignitas won the first map fairly convincingly in the end. I think it was, what, 16-11, if memory serves me correctly. And that's not necessarily too one-sided, but take into account that Fnatic only got 2 rounds on their T side. They were winning 9-6 going through onto the second half, so it was a bit of a horror show on their T side, looking to make amends for that right now on Cobblestone, a map that definitely does favour them a lot more than Overpass does. But let's see if they can convert on that promise and that potential. As I mentioned before, as a result of not upgrading more rifles, they are able to buy back into this round. They just have a pretty solid buy. There's a double stat, but just boy doesn't even need his partner in crime. There's actually 3 plays there in total. The other one being Cajun B with his AWP, so heavy, long stack. That is an incredibly ballsy play, and it works out.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a gamble because it's so hard to read what's going on from the CT side of Cobblestone. Like, you can't really push as easily. Like, think, for example, like a cache where you can easily pop flash A main or B lobby and get information. You can't really do that on Cobblestone. And so you really are just kind of gambling when you make stacks. You're just trying to make gut reads, and that was a great one, right? I mean, Fnatic went for heavy A-Halls control in the previous round. They do it again here. This time the Dignitas are well prepared for it, and now they have a 4-on-3, a chance to reset Fnatic's economy and start building up their lead on this CT side. But Twist, he's trying to make the difference, and he does. It's a big kill on the MSL, but Matchday, he's still alive here in the A site. Running out of time, though, is Fnatic.
25 seconds, yeah, and Olafmeister's low. So, 11 HP left, 20 seconds to play with everything seemingly going against him, and he's just making a beeline for the site. And he's going to get to this, so the bomb will get planted. And now, out of a situation where there was no hope, there's a glimmer of hope, a slither of hope. It's not much, though, because if he takes 1 bullet, he will be a dead man. Cajun B's missed his first opportunity, but now Rubino comes in, spray not quite on point, gets on the second time of asking, and it will be Dignitas taking it. But honestly, for Olafmeister to get a plant there in itself was pretty impressive.
Yeah, surely it kind of helps a little bit with the money reset. Still, though, going to be hard-pressed to make a buy here with Lekro being so low on money. You might just see some Tech 9s come out and maybe do some type of Flood B drop again. And until they can get money together for the next round, they can get maybe even an op in play. So there you see the Tech 9s and armor coming in. So shaving a little bit of money off the top, but not to the point that it'll cripple them in the next round. And of course, Dignitas still looking pretty here with that op in Cajun B's hands and rifles across the board. This time we will see Fnatic open up pretty heavy towards the B side and see if they're just going to plow in here or not.
Config goes for the spam through the smoke. Doesn't really connect a great deal. Olaf's down to 83. Finished off in the hands of Cajun B. And now here come the smokes and the set play. In effect, the majority of the T's, though, going through drop. And you can see that MSL just round the back of them, going to hold down the trigger. And that's where the A4 shines. The extra 10 bullets making all the difference. MSL is going to bring this down to a 2-on-1. And Dennis was trying his best. Definitely the standout player from the first map. Finds himself in only 2 frags so far on Cobblestone, and Fnatic will lose that one. How's their economy looking? They will have enough to purchase AKs, but again, it's not going to be a great buy. It includes a Galil, not a huge amount of grenades. Let's see how they approach this round.
Especially with Olaf just being on a Galil, because he's actually been pretty good. He's been winning those 1v1 fights on the B platform with Config. The 2 times they've met up there, he's actually won, one of which led to a round win for Fnatic, the only one that they've gotten. So to have him a little bit handicapped certainly has a heavy impact on the round, you gotta believe, as they will open up 1-4B, so this is kind of their more common default here. They'll probably take it a little bit slower But MSL and Matchday, they're looking to try to find something at middle here. They know that Fnatic likes to do this type of play a lot of the time, so they want to see if they can catch someone in isolation in the middle. But in the meantime, Electro's taking control of drop, and MSL gets caught trying to flank early. So again, Fnatic, just like the round they won earlier, they get a pretty quick 5 versus 3.
Again, though, similar to Overpass, they're getting this off the back of Dignitas putting themselves in harm's way. Config gets the free frag. Oh, he switches! So unfortunate, it's going to cost him his life. But this round really does come off the back of Dignitas almost hanging themselves. And it's all great for Fnatic to take this round, but they still need to convert this. And Cbble has been landing up shots, 2 frags. Dennis finally pushes through the smoke and will reap the rewards with a headshot, leaving Matchday in a 1-on-2. So let's jump on board with his perspective. 2 flashes, has a kit, M4 and Kevlar, so pretty decent amount of utility to work with. Smoke down, you can see that he's very cautious about a player being on the chicken coop side, and unfortunately for him, Benton peaks at the right time, and Fnatic pick up a second. But again, with that being off the back of Dignitas playing aggressively, I do still worry a little bit for Fnatic. That being said, Dignitas run to an eco, so this is the chance now for Fnatic to pull further ahead, or at least, sorry, bridge the gap.
Again, it's similar. MSL was getting away with a lot of that type of stuff when he was on Overpass, and he was able to just kind of push short B a lot and such, but now he tries to do it on Cobblestone, and he gets caught. And so that's definitely a big play there out of Fnatic. You are going to see them now on the Dignitas side, just with a couple of CZs, a Deagle, a 5-7 on config, not much armor to go around either. They're just stacking the B-bomb site with 4 players, just hoping that maybe they can put these upgraded pistols to work over on that side. They do have the CZ of Rubino over there, and the Deagle and 5-7 in play on that side of the map as well. And so far, you see config kind of toying with people over here on this B platform. Dennis has the op over there, just kind of keeping his eyes on the platform, but so far, no real damage has been exchanged.
Nothing as of yet. Fnatic, again, just waiting, biding their tires. Mid-Twister takes point, and again, the weapon switch is going to cost the player his life. Rubino, Houdini himself, somehow escapes out of drop zone, but with 3 health, so not cleanly. It's the life of the CZ. Can he rain down some more frags? Matchday is going to pick up 1 frag. Here comes the Glock. And that's good enough to take the CTs down and out. Fnatic did lose 2 players in the round, and Dignitas will be likely onto another eco. They can't afford a full buy. No point rushing this. They still find themselves in the lead.
Yeah, certainly. There's definitely no cause for panic right now for Dignitas. They still have 5 rounds on the CT side, which sometimes is all you get, I feel like, on this map. A lot of heavy double-digit T sides are common on this map, so they're already like at the bare minimum, so they just need to try to find a few more rounds, I feel like. So I think they feel pretty good about their terror side, but we'll see what they can do here, see if these Deagles actually cause a ruckus or not, as Fnatic are looking to just kind of ante up over here at B, and Olaf has already cleared out config, so far so good. But look at this, Dignitas, all of a sudden these upgraded pistols, they're causing a bit of a disturbance, but now Fnatic are clearing them out.
Again, the nightmare of picking up a weapon and having no Kevlar. We'll see Rubino taken down. MSL with his Deagle, who had a solid performance on Overpass, honestly. I think he was second top behind Config. He played like a monster. I wasn't expecting much from MSL, and he does get picked off from the AWP courtesy of Dennis on B platform. This is the point that Dignitas have been waiting for these previous 2 rounds, though. For this buy, Config, he's going to go with an M4. Make sure he has a full healthy dosage of grenades. They could have got an AWP, but it would have probably been a glass cannon AWP and not a great deal of nades behind it. So going for the firepower and the utility. And Dignitas now have a chance to regain some momentum. But Fnatic have looked pretty solid these last few rounds, so game well and truly back on.
Indeed, and Olafmeister's had a lot of success working this B platform, by the way. He's gotten better config on several occasions, and he's going to put some early damage on config once more, taking him down to 73. And again, we were talking about Olaf having a tough overpass. We also mentioned how he needs to be big on this map because he holds an important position, and so far he's playing it well. Again, look at config, he's already down to 8 HP. So, I mean, Olaf might go, 3 for 3 on this B battle, it seems like, but he's actually backpedaling a bit because we're seeing a lot of pressure put on A from Fnatic. They're pushing out long right now. They do have the pick on Matchday.
And you can see how much it was weighing on their mind roll for Meister doing the damage and being present. They put 4 players on B. They left A very vulnerable. And although MSL takes down the frag, he's on 11, so 2 players incredibly low. The bomb was dropped, but it's going to get salvaged very quickly from Fnatic, you'd assume. So grenades continue to go back and forth. Here comes Lekro now with the bomb. You can get the plant down. A little bit worried in case there's a pesky CT lurking in the shadows, but obviously no one there, as we can see. Bomb planted, and this is where MSL and Config's health could really work against Dignitas. They're waiting for Rubino to try and lurk round the back of them and flank, and see if he can get a kill or two. And that could open up this. If he doesn't, though, I wouldn't be too surprised if Dignitas just pull back and save.
Yeah, Rubino's definitely the key player here. The thing is, so much time has passed that Fnatic has to pay attention to it. You see Vinton actually has his crosshairs trained on this very position, and he will win the fight. And so that will cause Dignitas to save these guns, just as you noted. And so it will be Fnatic tying up the game 5-all now. Dignitas, though, saving a pretty good amount of guns here, but still, the other players will be low on money, and they may not even get to save them. We do see Fnatic on the chase, actually. Fire coming out. Olaf Meister will go down the cage and B, so Dignitas will hold on to these 3 rifles now.
Sure will, but it's going to mean Fnatic get 4 rounds on the bounce. Momentum certainly going in their favour. 3 players in 7k or thereabouts, so the bank is building up nicely for the Swedes. Much better performance thus far on the T side as opposed to Overpass. That's a lot of good signs. But again, we did see, I believe the first map started at 5-5 then 6-6, and that's when Dignitas started to pull away with it a little bit. So I'll be curious to see how Fnatic face off against another rifle round. That really did come off the back of Olaf Meister's damage on B plat and then them stacking 4 players on B, losing the player on A. I'm not sure Dignitas will make the same mistake twice.
Yeah, we'll see again. Olaf Meister prodding over here at the B platform again. He's just getting some kind of early chipping damage here. Opening up through that smoke. This time it's Cajun B who's going to face the brunt of it. Down to 74, so it's not a lot of damage, but it's certainly at least giving Olaf a little bit of an early advantage here. As again, he's definitely been quite the nuisance for Dignitas in some of these rounds that Fnatic have been stringing together. It's really kind of allowing the rest of his team to like focus on controlling A halls and middle, while Olaf practically like holds enough pressure on B by himself to keep people in place.
Again, Config's interested in trying to use this smoke to his advantage. The flashbang, which I believe was thrown from his teammate. I think it was Cajun B that threw that in, actually. Rex Cajun B, but it could have saved his life, because I think he's about to push through the smoke when Olafmeister was in position.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, they've rotated hard on A this time. Last time it was a B rotation that cost, and this time it could be A. Olafmeister's out. Can Config get the frag? No, he can't, but Olafmeister will get answered back. Rubino gets 2 frags. Can he get a third one? Oh, he gets taken down. Yeah, but is it just a case of Rubino delaying the inevitable here, Dust? Because Fnatic have still got on the site. They're still going to get the bomb planted.
Yeah, let's watch how this plays out, but we want to talk about that round for a second, as Dennis trying to see if he can't go ahead and close up around. Lekro now pushing in and catching Cajun B as well, so all hope is basically lost. Magic Boy will just run away with the M4. Am I slow, or did Fnatic do nothing to cause Dignitas to rotate that heavy?
No, they didn't. I think Dignitas just made a judgment call, and it was completely the incorrect decision.
I mean, I didn't see what nade set Fnatic threw at the A-bomb site. I know they had 3 players in that area. I'm not sure what they threw, because I was kind of focused up on what's going on at Long B. But, yeah, it just seems really odd that Dignitas rotated that hard. I don't even think Fnatic sold a proper enough fake to make you even consider doing that type of rotation.
I think they had a player around long and one around mid, but honestly, they didn't throw a set play onto A. They didn't throw any nades or flashes out. I think it was just a massive over-rotation by Dignitas. Maybe a bit too...
Maybe it's because... Was that Config who played the edge of the smoke and didn't spot anything at Long B when he played the edge of the smoke? Because Olaf was hiding inside of it and another player was not peeking? Maybe that's part of it. Like Config just said there's nothing Long B. Maybe that's the read they went off of. But yeah, it definitely hurt them.
That seems like a lot of... eggs to be put in that basket, because for all he knows, Olaf is just playing passive, or they're stacking in drop and they're about to execute onto B anyway. But yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from. Config
well, that's the one round where Olaf wasn't just showing himself doing a bunch of damage on the platform.
Yeah.
So I don't. Maybe that's why they based the read, but definitely wasn't the best one. Now Config gets cleared again. He's having a hard time over there today.
Yeah, he's struggling. This time he goes into the alcove and that Molly completely wrecks him. Out into the open he goes and just gets picked off. But it is a 1-for-1 trade, so Dignitas did at least take down Olaf. On top of that, Rubino gets the headshot onto Lekro. So Dignitas started this run pretty rough with Config getting found out and fragged, but they have managed to salvage this somewhat. And it looks like this is going to be very much a B-centric push as Twist is lurking in the smoke. The drop zone comes out, will find himself on the receiving end of a battering courtesy of Rubino. Oh, is that
Poor
a stack?
Cajun B. Yeah, that was a stack over the smoke. Cajun B not eyeing that at all. Gets his elbow stuck out there a little bit too much. And so now it's going to be up to Dennis and Vent to see what they can do. Nice shot from Dennis, but MSL fires right back, so they have a 2-on-1.
And has done a lot of damage as well onto Magisk Boy, so if you can pick off the head of MSL, maybe this is doable, but time is ticking against him. There's the first frag, now MSL walking to his crosshead and gets sprayed down. Benton with the 1v2 clutch, keeping Fnatic in the lead. They now take a 2-round lead, and look at the economy of Dignitas. That's a massive chain of events that go firmly the way of the Swedes.
And so it looked like a good half out of Dignitas, so they're really going to put together a solid CT side and really get the advantage going into the second half. All of a sudden, Fnatic, they're really posing that threat of getting that double-digit half, and that, you know, means that Dignitas has to do a lot more work on their own T side than maybe they would have liked to based on how things were starting out. As they are just going to be on the upgraded pistols once more. Vinton holding mid by himself. Again, Fnatic with this 1-4B. This is kind of their favorite default to open with, and so far it's yielded great results, so why not? No real stack from Dignitas either this round. They pretty much are just playing default positions. Alright. Of course, Config will win his first battle against Olaf all game with the P250. Brilliant. No way. What is this, Metis? How is it that Config has the best round of his CT side cobblestone on the P250? Literally, Olaf and company has just been straight wrecking him all game on that platform. Gets a P250, gets 2 kills, and helps this team win the round. Unreal. Now he has a second out to put in play this round. I just can't even.
How does that even happen, man?
P250 greater than M4, I suppose. Just unbelievable. That round changes everything about this half, I feel like, now, because now you have a great buy from Dignitas. You have Fnatic, who will, after this round, pretty much be out of money if they can't win this one. And that's when Dignitas can actually have just a stellar CT side, actually, at that point. So that's a huge round.
Yeah, apologies, guys. I was having like a coughing fit. I didn't want to unmute my microphone and just like wreck everyone's ears. But yeah, that is absolutely ridiculous. The fact that Magisk Boy gets a double frag with a 5-7 around the back and Config just getting the kills on
My
B
goodness, man.
And that was the chance for Fnatic to just pull far ahead on this half.
Yep.
You know, get like a 10-5 sort of score, like 9-6 maybe. They still could get the 9-6, of course, but that was their golden ticket. There's the frag. The way of Cajun B. MSL, meanwhile, is going to get the M4 spray down. Magisk Boy with the headshot with the AK, and it's all on off. When it rains, it pours for Fnatic, and Dignitas have pulled it back. And talk about one-sided. They didn't lose a single point of health in that round even. It was a rifle round they're up against. Now Fnatic are up against it with 6.3k Electro, but everybody else is broke.
It's actually pretty crazy, though. Also, when you look at Dignitas' side of things, look at the frag distribution there. Top fragger with 12 kills. Then, you know, most guys just a couple below or one below that. I mean, I guess Config's a bit of an outlier, but he just had a big round at P250, so he still definitely had an impact on this half. And now it's the last round of the half, and Fnatic just working with upgraded pistols at one op on Lekro of all people. Again, just the musical chairs of opping of Fnatic. That's one thing that has not changed with the roster shuffle.
Certainly not. But can Lekro get anything done with the AWP? You know, we've already seen Dignitas really spoil the party with pistols. But that's on the CT side, and they can play more of a static, passive approach and just hope that Fnatic don't check a corner or get an opportunistic timing go their way. Now Fnatic have to be the pressers. They have to be the assailants. And Dignitas, with a very healthy dosage of weapons, should be favourites to take this round. And then some. Here comes the push, though. Twist and Venting are going in, and Rubino gets picked off, so that's a big scalp to take, but there are still 2 players on the B side, including MSL, who's up on the boost, and Config, who's in the chicken coop, who's just raining down fire with the AWP. Speaking of fire, Venton's going to burn his toast. He pushes out a drop zone, and it's all going to be a Magisk Boy now with his AK-47, and Fnatic take it with pistols. I don't even.
Of course they did.
2 key rounds at the end of the half come down to pistol victories. What a way to play it. And I mean, to be fair, Tech9s are so deadly around the drop-down area on this map. So you can see how they should have an impact against situations like that. And so it's actually an 8-7 half, though. So, I mean, I think Dignitas is still feeling pretty good about that. I mean, they had a great start to that half. Yeah, they're probably kind of kicking themselves that they let the half kind of spot out of their control for a little while. But they still come up with a couple of key rounds there towards the end to put themselves in good position, right? Especially if they can get pistol here in the second half. They're well set up to take this map at that point. Fnatic are going to have one of those brilliant CT sides they were so well known for in the past. There's so much skill on the team. They still do have a fair amount of skill on the team, right? I mean, Dennis is definitely excellent. You know, Olaf, he seems to be playing better this map than he was in the last, and he's definitely a classic character to keep an eye on for fragging. And of course, Twist, I think, is certainly kind of a guy that a lot of people have pointed to be a very flashy fragger in the Swedish scene. So they definitely have a lot of guns to put to work here. But again, Dignitas have some really good T-sides on Cobblestone. I really enjoy watching them play. It's really cool because the way that Dignitas played Cobblestone, you know, back in January and February this year when they were, you know, getting all those big finishes and they were looking like this really super hot team, they still pretty much have the same system, just with different players slotted into the old players' roles. So they still have this like working system that most of their players are familiar with, and they run it very well. Maybe it makes them a bit readable, I guess, but they still execute it so well.
Yeah, and with the last map really being the terrorist side that cost them, now that Fnatic have 8 rounds and a bit of a buffer to play with, I think they're in pretty solid shape. The CT side of Cobblestone isn't the easiest of CT sides, right? I think for a while Cobblestone was considered to be fairly heavily T-sided. Now I'd say it's a bit more even, but T-side definitely can take a whole bunch of rounds. So it's not taking anything for granted, but Fnatic are in pretty good shape when going through into the second half.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think you have to give them the slight nod going into the rest of this map, but yeah, it's still close enough to where Fnatic can take pistol and they can get their double op setup rolling that they like to use on the CT side. That they could definitely still put up a good enough defense to stay ahead in this game, and at least get a 1-1 map split out of this. Because, I mean, Grant, that's just like really the main thing Fnatic's playing in right now is EPL. Like they're not really playing in anything else yet since they put this lineup together. I think right now they sit at 7-4 since they just lost Overpass. So I mean, they're definitely still a team that could be in playoff contention for EPL, but definitely need to get this map to help that along.
Yeah, of course, we're just talking over the warm-up in between the halves, guys, so don't worry, we're not live just yet.
Press that damn start button, Menace.
I know,
These
it's all
casters
on me, bro.
just want to hear themselves talk, of course. This game, not going to start.
It's unreal how many people actually think that, though. Like, it always blows my mind.
At this point, I wonder if it's kind of a troll. Like, people do actually know it. They still just troll anyway. But I think some people seriously get heated the casters don't start the game. You're right. It's kind of crazy stuff.
That's why I've
just like, of course, we cause all the delays at LAN events as well. It's all us.
Yeah. Definitely.
Just not at our desk, not ready in time. Definitely.
And then we just get carried away, obviously, when the analysts from the desk are like, hey, I just love the sound of my own voice so much.
Yeah.
The players have to wait for us, so deal with it.
Yeah, indeed. Of course, people again asking who the casters are in chat. It's myself as Dust, and then of course it's Metis from On Fire. We'll see you at a big event pretty soon here, right? DreamHack Bucharest. It's kind of be your. Well, I guess the first event you've done in a little while, right?
Yeah.
You've been off for a bit before that.
2 or 3 months. I mean, we did have a bit of a break collectively in the CS scene.
Yeah, that's very true.
I did summer, like DreamHack summer, and then going to Bucharest. I'm actually leaving tomorrow morning to Romania, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Actually, it's a pretty stacked tournament in terms of teams. Have you actually had a chance? Maybe we can even talk about that in this wait time, because we have no idea how long it's going to be. But do you know the teams that are taking part? Because I was going to ask you who sort of like your top 3 would be out of that, who you think could take it. I actually have a feeling that Cloud9 may do really well. Oh, I say that, and then the second pistol starts, so get wrecked.
Brilliant.
Maybe if we get a pause, we can go back to that topic. But we are live into the second pistol. Dignitas on the T side. Of course, Fnatic with 8 rounds on their first half, although it was back and forth. A couple pistol round wins in the dying embers of the first half that just to stand the Counter-Strike. And the kill dispersal, I just want to highlight as well, because I always love this aspect of Counter-Strike, when everyone on the team is performing well. There's 3 kills between Majestic Boys top and Config and KJB are bottom.
Well, you're casting solo for this round. I actually had to step away and let someone in the house, so I'm sorry. Production value
No
1
worries.
point. BRB.
No worries. So, as dust is away, let's see if Dignitas can explode into this round and claim the second pistol. It is very much a split aggression thus far, with the bomb being dropped just outside of the drop zone itself. MSL's going to get the first frag, and there's a bit of a scuffle there between the T players, nearly team killing each other in the back of the head, but Offmeister's gone down on B long, and that's going to be the bomb taken onto the B site. The thing is, though, that the CTs are rapidly rotating. Dennis very nearly lands the frag onto KJB, who somehow survives and escapes. What is happening here? And now, suddenly, Fnatic... Oh, what? KJB is dodging bullets left, right, and centre. If you listen really closely, Dennis is just face-desked so hard he's broke his desk, his keyboard and mouse has gone flying away. How he didn't get that kill is beyond me. But Lekro now has the arduous task of trying to stop this push, and the flashbang in his face, he can't see a single thing. He will go down. Isn't it fitting that the man that refused to die, the turd that wouldn't flush of KJB, comes round to claim the final frag of the second pistol? What is life? That is ridiculous. On 7 health, like 3 separate scuffles, and he survives and lands the final kill. So Fnatic will have 4 Deeks and a 5-7. 3 UMPs and 2 AK-47s for KJB. I'm still somewhat shell-shocked as to what I just saw there. That is so ridiculous. Double stack in mid. We'll see both Twist and Venton with a crossfire. This is where MSL actually was, if you cast your minds back to the first half. You had the UMP in that position. Got 3 frags from it. KJB with his AK is good for a kill, but they're being tapped from long range from the Deagle. Here comes the UMP, and Majestic Boy with 2 frags. Very nicely done. Saving the bacon of his teammates as well, who are pushing into a bit of a crossfire. And from there on out, it should be smooth sailing for Dignitas. I say that actually, but Olofmeister has his hands on an AK, and he's got the Kevlar. And with 2 players low, maybe he's good for this. No, he's not. Majestic Boy will put him down. Full house of frags. 7 from the... 7? That's definitely not correct. 7 frags in a round, of course. Brilliant maths. He's back, as I make that derp, of course. Fantastic.
There could be 7 frags in a round across 2 teams, of course.
Yeah, EU maths.
I'm trying to help you.
GG.
Best I can.
Yes, but Majestic Boy got 3, and I think it was Cajun that got 2 in the end. So you came back. You didn't see KJB survive like 7 times and 7 HP. It was pretty ridiculous. In pistol. You missed that, Dust. Get wrecked.
I'm sorry about that. Maybe I'll go back and watch the VOD. Probably not, though. Fnatic, of course, in this round, just on basic pistols. We did see Lekro and Vinton upgrade up just a tight bit, but meanwhile, MSL's cleared out A-Bomb's like completely by himself. Now he's just going to fight everyone connector with the ump by himself. Also, done a lot of damage here. Bomb is like in this weird transition because now Magic Boy's getting picks at drop as well. Seems like Dignitas will win the round no matter what, though. Now, I mean, they have a 4-on-2, should be fine. That flash will help. I'm not sure who threw that, but that man was blind. Magic Boy clears out the round. So 10-8. How'd you like that? That play-by-play. That was kind of this weird hybrid.
Hashtag
pointing things out, play-by-play.
See you at the next major, mate.
Next time, just talk over me and I'll shut up. All right? That's what we'll do.
It's all good. It's all good. So Fnatic now do have a buy, but man, this is sketchy. Mag 7. I mean, Mag 7's completely fine, especially in drop zone, which is where Lekro's going. But it's more the grenades and lack of kit that's worrying me here for Fnatic. And hyper aggressive round by Dignitas. We saw a lot of overpass too, and Rubino goes in by himself, completely isolated. Ouch. Dennis realizing his likelihood that there's going to be more players behind him, just preemptively sprays through the smoke and claims the second frag. So, lack of weaponry, lack of kits, but if you get all the kills, it doesn't matter. That being said, Dignitas have pulled this out the fire. 2 kills in quick succession. They actually have the HP advantage, and now the player advantage as MSL puts down Dennis with ease, looking for a second frag, and he lands it. Venton does answer back in the meanwhile. over on B long, which is going to give Dignitas the call, I assume. And the bomb on the site itself, Boy is going to go for this one, and he should get it. No, maybe he won't. Twist is going to get the better of him, but he's put him down to 14 health. Twist could actually clutch this, you know. MSL lands the shot very close. By the way, MSL gets 4 in that round. Carry MSL
kills.
confirmed.
He's the second fragger on his team.
Did
Carry
that
MSL is confirmed. Check out this guy. There you go. As that round did not look good to start, Dennis had a really big opener to get it a 5-on-3, but Dignitas still pull it out. I have to say, the Dignitas has like some really crisp flashbangs to like get themselves back in rounds. The one flash for MSL to clear Rock, for example, from drop was really big, I feel like. And so now Fnatic are back onto a save. Dignitas, again, was changing the pace that round. I feel like they're much more known for, you know, just kind of the slow spread. But that round they just floored B and ran into initial trouble, but still wound up with the victory in the end. Now they're catching Fnatic on the save, and Cbble has already found 1 kill at the Mac 10 to, you know, gain some extra money for later.
This round should have been a formality, and it's looking like it's going to go that way. 2 Eagles. Dennis with a tasty 1-tap. He had a couple of 1-taps on overpass, but he is now the last remaining counter-terrorist, and being smoked off, really no hope. And I'm getting deja vu here, Dust. Last time it was on the T side that Fnatic failed to get any rounds. This time they're going to be off to a 0-for-5 start on their CT side. Their economy has been battered and bruised multiple times. This is pretty much as good as it gets as far as the terrorist side is concerned, so Dignitas are in prime position to strike.
Yeah. And I'm kind of curious if Dignitas will get back to kind of like what I'm familiar with, because again, I think now they've just been a little bit more free-for-all, a little bit quicker pace. Like you said, very similar to what they did in Overpass, which is a bit out of character. So curious to see if we'll see them kind of go back to their tried and true system they like to run now that Fnatic will be back on guns in the next round, or if they'll continue to kind of throw in these heavy executes. I mean, that's how many teams have started out, right? Like even Navi, like MLG Columbus going forward, really started to add explosive plays. SK, the Brazilians, same thing. Like everyone's kind of converted over to this hybrid style where you have like the default methodical play as your foundation, and then you mix in the quick executes as a change of pace. So that's definitely a cool way to do it. Makes you hard to read, and we do see Fnatic in the double op setup that we mentioned earlier, so they will try to really use that to try to see if they can't change things in this game.
I wonder at what point Fnatic will pull the pause if this continues to go the way it is. A bit of a derp nade by Config, bounces off the wall back towards his own teammate. I think he may have slightly tagged up MSL in the process. He stood right next to him. This, as he said, double ops in play, heavy investment into this round. It's going to cost them a few more nades and a few more kits, but it's so important that they mix something up because the CT side has just been going very quickly away from Fnatic. Lecro again with a max 7 in drop zone. And Twist is to be playing aggressive Config with a pixel perfect headshot. Opens up things nicely. The account of Dignitas is well and truly open and ready for business. Cajun B going to be peering around the corner. Is Lecro about to walk into this? Yes, he is! The second frag goes the way of Dignitas, and oh man, this has just been a crippling CT side. Fnatic are getting battered and bruised. Dennis has an AWP, but look at his position. Far from ideal. Does land and connect the kill, however. And could very well back away. There's flashes to greet him. A second flash to his forehead. And down he goes. Key frags being exchanged. Olaf in the smoke gets picked off next, and now it's all on Venton, but he's going to die. So the double orbs do not work. And Fnatic on the brink of another loss.
Starting to look that way, isn't it? I mean, they put a lot of investment to that double op setup. They didn't get much out of it, and so in this round, it's just going to be upgraded pistols and armor, and so they're obviously trying to gear up to still have a nice full buy when Dignitas goes for map point. But it seems like the route there is going to be much easier for Dignitas than Fnatic would have hoped. We are going to see Dignitas just rush a mid just immediately and catch Vincent out almost just as quickly, and so now they already pretty much have A side under their control, as now Twist has even been cleared out.
Yeah, great start again, although it is Fnatic on pistols. They're playing for the next rounds where everything is going to come down to this next rifle rounds. Config dies by Lecro, but I think it's just a drop in the ocean. Actually, hold the phone for a second, because what I didn't realise at the time is how low the Boy is and Rubino is. And sure, still the Terrorists should be firm favourites to claim this round, but The 5-7 and the Deagle are definitely capable of clutching this out. Rubino's on the side, Magisboy to the right-hand side, and Olofmeister is going to connect the headshot. In fact, just the body shot onto the already weakened Magisboy. KGB on the prowl, second frag to Olofmeister. Is he going to turn it back on again here? He's going to go and tap the defuse, trying to put KGB out of position. He throws the molly in, and that's pretty much going to win the round. Absolutely. There's no kit, there's no smoke to extinguish the molly. And Olof won't keep his weapon. He's going to blow up to the bomb just to add insult to injury. A nice try, but the corpse says it all.
That's actually kind of brilliant. Like, the angle at which you peek slope is pretty much a headshot angle for those attacking you, and there's even ways you can kind of, like, run up it without being peeked unless Olaf, like, really commits to peeking down the slope. And the way the bomb was planted, and the fact that he had a Molotov, it was just... There was almost no way for Olaf to win, basically, right? He would have had to have, like, pushed Cajun before he primes the Molotov or something and catch a sick timing. So that's definitely going to be difficult to win that type of thing. And now you are going to see, this is Dignitas' favorite opener. Just letting Rubino play B by himself. And the way that they work mid-room and A-halls and how they mid-round transition from this is what is Dignitas' reasoning for how they've been so successful on this map throughout this year. They just play this so well.
I mean, this is really last chance saloon for the Fnatic boys. Double up set up again. Lack of grenades again. They do have a kit in the hands of Benton, but this time not playing too aggro up the likes of Long. It's cost them big. I think it was Config that got the opening pick onto Twist. And we saw a couple rounds ago, and it's going to be this time Cajun B onto Twist, who's going to leave the A site vulnerable. It's not quite right for the taking as Venton and now Lecro are moving into position, but again, it's important that Fnatic don't make the same mistake that Dignitas did by over-rotating. So they're going to keep Olofmeister and his AWP on B plateau. But Dignitas still have a bit of time to play with, so they could easily get themselves back towards the B side, which is where Rubino is waiting for the rest of his team to join him. And it seems like Fnatic have called this. They've already moved Dennis back into position. You can see Venton's getting a move on towards B as well. 30 seconds to go. Dignitas now have to commit to the B site. Olofmeister misses his chance, but he does get vital information for his team, so now they know they need to hold in position.
Look at this transition from Dignitas from A control to a B hit to now a drop A split. They are just making Fnatic scramble all across the map. Fnatic can't really even find their footing, and Dignitas able to just put this round away. And that's what I'm talking about when I talk about Dignitas' like opener. The way that they work control of mid-room and A halls, and they leave themselves enough time to double back to B, and even still enough time to transition to what you just saw there. Think about how many audibles they called from A control to B hit to let split drop into the A bomb site. Like, incredible how they just stretched your CT rotation so thin by playing it that way.
Yeah, and you can see they were making Fnatic's head spin so much they just pretty much fell over. Way too dizzy to deal with it. Fnatic will have Max 7 and UMP. Yeah, it's fantastic calling on the fly from MSI, and he gets a lot of flack, but the guy's a very intelligent leader, you have to say. Some of his strat calling is on point.
They're pretty... I think MSL's calling is probably some of my favorite to watch on T-Side Cobblestone of any team. And some of their results are really good evidence of that. I mean, how they... Especially earlier this year. Of course, there's some other really big Cobble teams like Na'Vi and SK and such, but it's really fun to watch MSL call mid-round transitions on this map.
And he's been putting in the work as well with frags. You know,
yeah,
he's 18 for 12. He had a solid performance on Overpass too. Twist will get the better of Conflict. Close range confrontation. Isn't too sure if he wants to push out and pick up that weapon just yet, in case it's into the embracing arms of a terrorist player. We'll happily oblige him. Spray down from Dennis. Narrowly missing out on getting burnt. Doesn't quite spread far enough. Here comes the push. It's going to be Dignitas actually bringing this back to a 2-on-2. Hyper-aggressive plays. Venton will get the kill into Cajun B as he cheekily pushes through the window, which leaves Rubino on a 1-on-2, but he has got the bomb planted. And if Venton pushes up B long right now, it could effectively be 2 1v1s. I like this play. It's actually Twist that was pushing up originally. He's going to join Venton and they're going to push together. This is a lot more intelligent play. 2 flashes for Rubino. A couple flashes have been expended by Fnatic on their approach to the site. HE has also been utilised. Rubino hiding in their side. First frag, but gets traded out. Venton will get this clutch. Well, actually, it's going to be quite close. He has no kit, but he's got it.
Yeah, you should have it by like a good second or 2.
Yeah, he's all good. So Fnatic will get the clutch, but they do lose 4 players. So their buy into this round's not going to be anything too spectacular. They're not able to afford a secondary AWP, which we've seen them go for a couple of times already. But it is going to be M4s, and they are going to be okay with the Mag 7 too.
And Olofmeister, despite having like a pretty good opener on the T side, where I thought he was playing the B platform quite well, he's actually really still struggling. He's 13 and 21. Twist has had an even worse game. He's 8 and 24. Meanwhile, Dignitas is pretty much firing on all cylinders. No one negative on that team.
Absolutely, it's a good point that you raised. And, you know, Twist is one of those guys that we've been saying for the longest time with the Swedish scene. He is one of the most talented players that there is. You know,
yeah, very high skill ceiling, can do it all. Yeah,
up until him joining Fnatic, he's kind of the underachiever in terms of which teams he'd been a part of. But 8 for 24 is a scoreline you don't often see on him. Very similar to how he felt on for Olof in the previous map. But Fnatic refusing to go down without a fight. They're going to stay in this one an extra round. This is the worry though, Dust. With 1 minute and 5, they have a distinct lack of utility. They have no smokes to play with. Their incendiary has just been utilised. This is a bit rough.
Fnatic have made the right call, though. They do have 3 members sitting inside the A bomb site, and it seems like Dignitas are committed to A, but again, they still have 50 seconds to bounce out if they all of a sudden kind of feel the pressure over here at long A. And with Winton peeking config and getting that pick, there's a little bit of pressure here, but look at Rubino splitting up the mid, so he can still cause a huge problem. It's 1 pick. They still trade their way in. Unbelievable. Now a 2v2. Now a 2v1. What's happened?
Yeah, unbelievable, isn't it? Fnatic were in prime position to strike, but the trade's going in the favour of Dignitas. Olofmeister still alive and very much a threat to contend with. With his order moving in, MSL will not be getting no scope today. And Olofmeister tries for the second shot, but it's going to be Dignitas who take the clean sweep. 2-0. I thought Cobblestone would maybe favour Fnatic, or at least be very close, but it actually ends up being more one-sided than Overpass was. Fnatic got 11 rounds on Overpass, 9